Hi, welcome to Web3 Unfiltered. This is a podcast about Web3 without the noise, without the slogans, and without the performative optimism that has come to define much of the space. If you're here for guaranteed returns, overnight success stories, or buzzwords dressed up as insights, this is not a show for you. If you're here to understand what actually works in Web3, and just as importantly, what doesn't, you're in the right place. My name is Collins Victory Odabi, or OV Collins for short. I work across media, strategy, and digital systems, and I've spent the last few years watching Web3 from both the inside and the edges as a listener, a participant, and a critic. I've seen what this space can enable, especially for people outside traditional financial and institutional centers. And I've also seen how quickly good ideas collapse under speculation, poor incentives, and unexamined assumptions. I'm not here as a maximalist, and I'm not here as a cynic. I'm here because I think Web3 is too important to be left to hype cycles and too fragile to survive without honest scrutiny. This podcast is my attempt to slow the conversation down, ask better questions, and create space for people who are actually doing the work to explain it properly. Web3 has a credibility problem, not because the technology is useless, but because the conversation around it has been diluted, commercialized, and in many cases, intellectually dishonest. We've turned serious infrastructure into lifestyle branding, we've replaced hard questions with community slogans, and we've confused visibility with value. Builders are often drowned out by influencers, failures are hidden behind roadmaps, and nuance is treated like weakness. Web3 Unfiltered exists as a corrective to that. This podcast is not here to sell you belief, it's here to examine evidence. It's not here to evangelize decentralization, but to interrogate where it succeeds, where it fails, and where it is simply misunderstood. When I say unfiltered, I don't mean reckless or hostile, I mean honest. On this show, guests will be builders, operators, analysts, and founders, not hype merchants or, hype merchants. Claims will be examined and not applauded. Vision will be followed by execution details, and failure will be discussed with the same seriousness as success. If someone says a protocol is decentralized, we'll ask, in what sense and for whom? If people say something is scaling, we'll ask, what breaks when it does? If someone says Web3 is inevitable, we'll ask, inevitable for who and at what cost? This isn't about being negative, it's about being precise. Web3 Unfiltered is for a very specific audience. It's for people new to Web3 who want clarity and not confusion. It's for intermediate participants who are tired of surface level explanations. For builders, also, who want to hear honest conversations about trade-offs, and for professionals in emerging markets who need realism, not imported narratives. You don't need to be a developer to listen, but you do need to care about substance. If you value depth over dopamine, this show is built for you. Most episodes of Web3 Unfiltered will be long-form interviews. Each conversation is structured. No random chatting, no disguised sales pitches. We'll cover what the guest is actually building or working on, the real problems they've encountered, decisions that didn't work and why, what they believe is misunderstood in Web3, and what they would do differently if they were starting again today. Occasionally, there will be solo episodes like this one to unpack ideas, trends, or assumptions that deserve careful treatment. This show is independent. No token promotions disguised as interviews. No unquestioned narratives. No obligation to sound optimistic when skepticism is warranted. This doesn't mean hostility in Web3. It simply means respect for it. Because technologies that matter should survive scrutiny, not avoid it. If this approach resonates with you, subscribe to Web3 Unfiltered. And if you're building something meaningful in Web3 or you know someone who is, this is the kind of conversation we want to have. No filters, no hype, just the work. Welcome to Web3 Unfiltered.